Hi guys, Legendary Basil Games here, and I'm going to talk today about Orochimaru and what fear he could possibly possess. Because I think that some of the YouTubers that have made a similar video are also correct. So I am going to state my opinion is that he has the extreme fear of death, most specifically in the forms of torture. Most specifically like war, kind of like the Shadow Temple in the bottom of the well and Zelda Ocarina of Time. You guys know those dungeons. He also probably has the fear of being forgotten, which I forget what that one's called. He probably has the fear of heights as well, but I don't really see him actually possessing that fear, so that might not actually be the right explanation as to what he possesses. But we do, in fact, know that he does possess the fear of death. We have made theories about it before. People on YouTube have made it. But my most specific theory is that it's not even the fear of like legitimate death as much as it is he fears death, and he also feels like he will be forgotten in like his time of need. And when someone possesses the fear of being forgotten, basically that is like a fear of being abandoned as well. Some people with PTSD possess it. Some people with BPD possess it. Other mental illness forms also possess that form of fear. But it is the most natural form of fear there is in existence known to man, basically. So he fears not being important enough for others to remember him. And like, if you go on the internet and you like look at like pictures of people's graves that are being destroyed by other people because they don't like this person for some reason, even though they may not know them, they may know them. Basically, he fears that, and the fact that he will have to face whatever he has to face in reality in the afterlife only about 1,000 times over. Basically, he fears the fear of also mistakes, and basically everything that he's ever done in his life being reflected in his face 10,000 fold, like fighting Itachi, fighting Sasuke, fighting Danzo. He probably fears the third Hokage, first, second, third, I don't know, fourth, fifth Hokage when she goes there. Basically, he fears the fear of like battle. So basically, he is a combat veteran. That's why I say that he has PTSD, and this has been shown through the manga, the books. This has been shown in the anime as well. The other thing that he would also possess, based on the fear of death, which I will tell you that for a matter of fact that I possess that fear as well. The fear of death is very imminent because it exists within your human brain, and people with PTSD have that because they have all sorts of issues. But basically, I fear the fear of death is because, I've already been there once. I've already had a stroke and a heart attack both at once, and I almost died about 5 or 6 years ago, which that most people don't even know that about me, that I had that happen, and not very many people were there. As far as I'm aware, I was unconscious, and when I woke up, I was unable to use my arms, my legs, everything, and it was absolutely terrible. I didn't know who I was. I didn't even know anyone. Basically, I lost the ability to recognize people, which that is a common symptom of a stroke. When you get out of the stroke, you can temporarily forget who you are, who people are. You can lose your vision. That's another symptom of a stroke. You can become paralyzed sometimes, I know, because I had that too. And after that, but I have still had symptoms of that, like residual symptoms. Like I still, every now and then, I am still paralyzed from the waist down, and sometimes even I have the paralyzed feeling in my hands as well from that experience. I know that's one of the things that I had. And also, in that state of mind, this is another thing that they probably don't tell you, is that you can probably experience hallucinations due to your brain shutting down, and basically your brain like literally dying, the one thing that keeps you alive. You can lose your hearing as well. I still have bad vision. Ever since that, I've had crappy vision. I still have partial deafness in one of my ears. I'm not completely deaf, but there are brief periods where I can't hear very much out of this ear. So that's one of the things that you can have. And basically what Orochimaru feels is the fear of like having a stroke probably and what would happen. But not only does he possess that, but he probably also has the fear of hospitals, doctors, psychiatrists. He has the fear of probably fire, probably being set on fire, because I experienced that when I was younger. I wasn't actually like legitimately set on fire, but I know that when I was young, I did fall into a kerosene heater, which that really hurt. That'll hurt you. And I also had the fear of like being frozen in ice, which when I was younger, I made a lot of stupid mistakes. I was homeless during that time, and I just came here only about a year ago, and I just came from being homeless. So again, but anyway, the fear of being frozen stems from the fear of like basically not being able to move due to being frozen and hypothermia. And if you've experienced that, then that's basically an emergency. Basically, I was in a house all alone, unmonitored by anyone. The house had broken windows. We did not have power. We didn't have water or anything. I don't live in that situation now, fortunately, because I live in a nice house now. So, but basically, during that time, I had to use my survival instincts, which in turn, that was my PTSD reacting to the situation, which I put gloves on my hands, coat, pants, overalls. Basically, I had to not move very much. I would wrap myself up in a blanket so I could prevent myself from freezing to death. And also, I would like go into town sometimes when it's cold as heck out, like 35 below out, and go to the gas station and get something to eat, because when you're homeless, you need the basic things to make you survive, but you need it like tenfold when you are like that. So basically what Orochimaru is trying to do is he's trying to erase the fact that he probably lived through some horrible situation, and he's trying to erase the memory of being mortal, being human, having his PTSD intact. He does not like that as well. So basically what he wants to do, he wants to become mortal through the process of experimenting tirelessly, excuse me, I didn't sleep very much, basically on a bunch of different people which he does not view as people at all sometimes. And he wants to obtain their chakra, jutsu, information, knowledge. Basically, he wants everything known to man due to his own incompetence, greed, desire, and basically he wants everything known to man because he can't face the fact that he is greedy, and he probably is narcissistic, which I've told you guys like in other videos. But like basically he would eventually acquire something that's known as antisocial personality disorder, which basically that is when your mind slips so far out of reality then that you are like literally not even a human anymore. Nothing that is human even resides within you anymore. You may possess some human elements, but not very much of it. You probably won't have feelings or anything, but that's what he would be having. He probably would have the dissociative amnesia probably first. I'm not sure if that's part of the process. Depersonalization disorder, which that is where like you feel like a machine most of the time. You don't even feel like you're a human. So basically he's basically one step closer to being a sociopath. And that plays into the fact of him being somebody that wants immortality, because he wants to keep his mind from slipping that far out of reality, and he wants to stop himself from like destroying 1 million people, which he does that already because he's a war veteran. But basically he wants to be strong because he wants to do whatever he wants to do with his life. Basically, he also has the fear, probably, I'm not going to state this specifically, but he may also possess the element of fear of not being able to feel pleasure in any way, shape, or form, which is the things that humans need to survive in order to stop from going crazy. Basically, he has the fear of not being loved. Also is another fear that he has in of itself is the fear of not being able to have intimacy, which you guys know what that is. Basically, that's what that is. He has the fear of not being able to be hugged as well. That's another one he probably has. But basically, he has the fear of going completely insane, which he already is there. So, basically, that's my theory video on what Orochimaru's actual diagnosis is. I'm gonna state that he probably has either antisocial personality disorder or maybe something like PTSD, perhaps. But antisocial personality disorder would most likely come after the fact that he has PTSD and he does all these horrible human experiments, because let's just face the fact that he is he's a serial killer, basically. So if you like the video, subscribe, like, turn on the notifications bell, and also leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think in the next video.